Hey guys, I'm here with a new Amazon video. Now, since I made that last series of FBA Basics videos, Amazon has changed the way they're doing things. They make changes all the time. And this change, which is new for 2016, is that you have to include packing lists for Amazon. Now, what they do is they give you the template and you upload it. But you have to know which items are going in which box. Before, you didn't really have to do that. You just had to, keep the items with the shipment that they were going in this light. Sorry about that. But now we have to do packing lists and have to, let them know which items are going to be in which box. So that adds a little bit of extra time and extra steps to the process of packing items up for Amazon. So in this video, I'm just going to show you my process for creating these packing lists. Now, here's something to keep in mind. If you're doing a single type of item, like if you're private labeling or just, bought something in bulk and you're sending in, 500 or whatever, 25 of a certain item, you won't need a packing list. Also, if all the items from a particular shipment fit in a single box, you don't need a packing list for that because, Amazon tells you the items and you say they're all going to go in one box and they know what's in that box. So you don't need a packing list for that. But if you're doing a decent amount of items, you're probably going to have more than one box per shipment, and you're probably going to have multiple different types of items in those boxes, which means you're going to need packing lists. And so this is how I go about doing the packing lists. I'm going to start by showing you the screen where I download not the packing list template, but the items that are going to go in each shipment. And printing that out so I have that as a reference for when I'm packing up the boxes. Okay, I've gotten to the screen now where I have approved the shipments, and Amazon's given me, it's going to two different warehouses. It's going to Kenosha, Wisconsin, and Robbinsville, New Jersey. It looks like most of the items, 86 different SKUs, 128 items are going to Wisconsin, and then 38 items, 31 SKUs are going to New Jersey. So what I need to do is actually print out these packing lists, and so to do that, what I will do is hit this download SKU list link here. And what this is going to give me is a text file that is the SKU list. It's going to look something like this when it comes up. Okay. So this is a mess. You can't print this out and use this. It won't work right. But if you just highlight the whole thing and copy and paste, which is Command C is copy on a Mac. I think it's Control C on a PC. That's copying it. Now what I'm going to do is open a spreadsheet. If you use Microsoft Office, this will be Excel. If you're like me and are a cheapskate and just download the free Open Office software, then you just go into Open Office and Spreadsheet. So you just want to open up a new spreadsheet file. You can use Google Docs, which is also free. And is web-based. And so we have, the first cell highlighted. Now we're going to paste. That's Control V on a PC or Command V on a Mac. And we're going to get a box that comes up. We're going to confirm that we're doing the character set Unicode, that it's tab delineated. This comes up automatically when I'm using OpenOffice. I'm guessing probably the same is true if you're using Excel or another spreadsheet program. So I'm just going to hit OK. And like magic, the list now looks way more organized than it did before. It also has a lot more information than we need if we're going to just, create a list for us to go by and pack up our items. So what I'm going to do is actually get rid of the extraneous information. The three columns that I need the title of the item so I can easily find and know what it is. I keep this here too, the FNSKU, the X SKU number, because that's what prints out on the barcode. So if I'm not sure by the title which item it's referring to, if I can double check it with this number. And then I also need the quantity that is going on, because I do have multiple quantities of items. So every other column I can delete. So first of all, well, I don't need to make this bigger. So I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to make my title column bigger so I can actually read what it says, a little bit bigger, not too big or else it won't print out right. And then I can get rid of this column. I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger so that I can see the whole SKU number there. And then all of these here, I can just get rid of them. And this column we can actually make a lot smaller because it's just going to be the item number, the number of items there. So it should look something like this, and I might even make this just a little bit bigger because I see some of the things are cut off there. And I am going to print this out. I'm going to go to File, Print. It's going to tell me how many pages it's on. I love when it's on one page. This is a lot of items. It might not all fit on one page. I'm thinking it might have to go on 2 pages. So let's see here. 1 of 3. Wait, let me just make sure it's not just like one thing on the 3rd page. Okay, well, we don't need the 3rd page. I don't know what got pushed over there, but we can just print out pages 1 to 2. And turn on my printer and print this out. Okay guys, so I have my printed out lists that look like this, and now they're going to go on my super deluxe fancy clipboard. I'm just kidding, this is from the dollar section at Target, but it works for my purposes. You'll actually notice my clipboard has an attachment to it. That did not come on the clipboard, although it does look like it matches, doesn't it? That wasn't even planned. But that is going to come in a little bit handy later on. I use it as a placeholder. So that, here, I'll show you. So that when I'm doing my data entry to create the packing list that I'll upload, I can easily keep my place and see where I am just by sliding this down. I'm not doing it evenly. But anyway, if I was using it, I'd be doing it evenly. I actually, I went to like Staples and was looking for something. I was looking online for something that would work. I was really prepared to spend decent money, and I just couldn't find what I wanted. And then my boyfriend and I, well, maybe like a piece of elastic would work. And, I was thinking of going to the craft store and getting elastic and sewing something. And then I was like, wait a second. So I went to the dollar store and picked up, that's just a girl's headband, an elastic headband. And it fits perfectly on my clipboard and works perfectly as a placeholder. So yeah, for $2 I have a clipboard with a placeholder. Another tool that I use is highlighters. Now, I have my regular old 5-pack of highlighters, which will work fine for the smaller shipment. That won't be more than 5 boxes. And what I'm going to do is color code each item. So I'll mark it off with the highlighter once I add to the box, and I'll use different colored highlighters for each box in the shipment. And I'll make a key at the side of my clipboard so I can remember, yellow equals box 1, pink equals box 2, whatever. I also have a 10-pack of highlighters. They're both the same brand. I had these for a long time and started using them when I had to do this with Amazon. And I just love the way these highlighters work. They're Zebra, Zazzle, liquid pigment ink, whatever the heck that means. But they work really nice. They're a nice size. They're not too fat. And so I was looking to see if they had like a bigger assortment, and they do. The only problem is some of these colors are pretty similar, so I try to use, I haven't had to use all 10 of them yet, so there's enough variety here that I can use different colors and not get too confused. So the next step is to actually pack up the boxes and mark off, as I check off each item with a highlighter, which box it's going in. And I'm not going to show you the whole packing process because that's not very exciting. I think you can figure that out. But I'll show you what my list ends up looking like after I'm done packing up. Okay guys, it's actually the next day because that's when I finally got my boxes packed up. I'm going to show you what my first list, this is the smaller shipment. I was able to get these into 2 boxes. There's a total of 38 items, and I have my little cheat sheet here. So yellow is box number 1 and purple is box number 2. I write down my the box weight and the dimensions of the box at the bottom here. And now what I'm going to do is to use this to fill out Amazon's packing list template and then upload it. So the first step is to get our packing list template. So let's see how to do that. Okay guys, so I am now in Manage FBA Shipments in the shipping queue, and I have, as you can see at the top here, the 2 shipments I need to work on. This is the larger one, which I haven't even boxed up yet, and here's the smaller one going to New Jersey, which I have boxed up, and I have that that sheet, my cheat sheet, with all my highlighted items on it. So I am going to click Work on Shipment. We don't need to review and modify the units because I didn't make any changes. Now here it says how will this shipment be packed, and we have to select. And you wouldn't need to do this, the download and upload the shipping, the packing list template rather, if you had everything in one box or if you had one SKU per box. Unfortunately, neither of those apply to me, so I'm going to have to do more than one SKU per box. And so it asks me to set the number of boxes. It automatically comes up as 2, which happens to be what I have. And so the first box is 18 pounds and it measures 20 by 15 by 13. My second box is 6 pounds and measures 18 by 12 by 12. So I just have the 2 boxes, and now I'm going to click the download the packing list template. The reason you need to fill that out ahead of time, not so much because of the weight, but they want to know how many boxes you have, because that will determine how this template gets created. So we're going to download the template, and this is going to come up just like before, when it was giving us the box contents, the packing list for the box. So our packing list template is going to look like this. Again, it's this jumbled mess, but if we highlight the whole thing and Control C or Command C to copy it, and then once again we're going to open a spreadsheet program. So I'm going to open my OpenOffice. It's already highlighted in the first cell there. So now we Control V or Command V to paste our contents in there. It's going to come up with this. It's Unicode. It's tab delineated. So we're going to click OK. And as you see, it's nice and neat and organized. Now, we don't really need to worry about all these columns. The columns that we need to worry start with column K. This is going to be box number 1. And then the next, kind of skip a column. This column L or N or depending on how many you have is actually for expiration date. So if you're doing grocery items or maybe certain health items that have an expiration date on them, you do have to fill them out on this packing list thing, even though you're also putting them on the item itself. But nothing I'm sending in right now has an expiration date, so I don't need to worry about column L. I don't need to worry about column N. So this is box number 1. What I do is I highlight the whole column, and then I use the fill here, and I color it yellow to match my list, because yellow is what I highlighted for all the box 1s. And then again, I'm going to do for box M, and I am going to highlight this in purple here to match my highlights. It's not really necessary, but it helps me stay organized. And as you'll see, once I fill everything in, then I will actually I will take the highlighting off the column. So all I'm going to do is go down to my list using my little list guide and just mark, what is in one box. What is in what box? I can't even talk. But anyway, so I got one of these in box 1. I got one of these in box 1. And then I'll come down here. I don't have any of those. I will do 1. I fill in zeros for the ones that I don't have any of. I think probably if you left it blank, it would be fine too, but I just fill in the 0 to, I don't know, so there's no confusion. But anyway, I'm just going to go down like that and fill that in. I do the zeros later. So I'm going to do all that and then catch up with you in just a few seconds. Okay, so I have filled in all the quantities for this shipment in the appropriate columns, column K, column M. What I'm going to do is take off the highlights. I don't think it really matters because I'm going to be saving it as a text file anyway, so it's not going to save that information. But just in case it would do anything weird to it, I take that off. So this is all filled out. Now what I need to do is save it in a format that Amazon deems acceptable. So I'm going to go up to File. I'm going to do a Save As. And this is OpenOffice, so its default is going to be whatever OpenOffice's spreadsheet extension is, but that's not what I'm going to do it as. I'm going to do a Save As, so I can save it as a text file, which is what Amazon wants. when you upload it. So down here it has the file type ODF spreadsheet, which is not what we're going to use. We're going to scroll down and we want something that says text. It may be different, based on your program. It might not even be the same extension. There's different text extensions, but as long as it's a text file, it'll work. So I'm going to select text CSV here. I'm going to name it, and I'm going to save it to my desktop so I can easily find it and delete it when I'm done with it. This is the first shipment that I'm doing, so I do that, and then I do today's date, which is the 26th of January, just so I could easily find it. It's a weird file name, I know, but it works for me. And that's right, I want to save it to the desktop. And I'm going to click Save. And it's going to ask me, do I really want it in this format? And I do. But now hang on, there's one more step here. We need to make sure the field delimiter is set to tab. On here it's set to automatically, I think it's a comma, I'm not even sure what that is. We want the field delimiter to be a tab because that is what Amazon requires for these files. So again, your program might be a little different, but make sure it's tab delimited. So we're going to hit OK. And now our file is, well, it's telling us it's only saving the first sheet, which is the only sheet we're using, so that's fine. So that is all done. So now we get to upload it back to Amazon. Here's where we were. We download the pack list template. Now we get to upload the completed template. So we're going to choose our file. We're going to go to Alyssa's desktop, which is a mess, but here's the file that I just created. We're going to choose that. And then we're going to hit Upload Now. What's actually going to come up when you first upload is it's going to say status pending, number of records processed, 0. It's fine. Even though it says pending, it will, I don't know how soon it goes, but it will eventually recognize it as uploaded. So that is all done. So now it's just we got to calculate and print our box labels, which you've seen me do before, I'm sure. It's going to cost me $9.54 because it's only going to New Jersey, and I only have 2 boxes. So I'm going to accept the charges, and then I'm going to print out my labels, and I am done with this shipment. Okay guys, so just to catch up, it's actually now the following day. I did finish up packing up my boxes yesterday, and they're all loaded up, ready to get dropped off. But I'll just show you for reference sake. Here's the second shipment that I sent in, so a little bit more colorful on my little sheet here. I have my key. I actually did manage to get it all into 5 boxes, and then at the bottom I have, the box dimensions and the weight of each box. And so I don't know, hopefully that helps you if you're having trouble figuring out this whole packing list thing that Amazon now requires. Again, remember, you only need the packing list if you're going to have multiple boxes in a shipment and different items in each box, which is probably going to be most of us. Most of us aren't sending in, 50 of the same item. Some of you might be. The one issue that I don't really have an easy fix for is sometimes you're going to have maybe like 6 of an item that you're sending in, and you can't fit all 6 items in one box, so you're going to have 2 in one box and 4 in another or something like that. So when that happens, it's only happened a couple times to me, I'll just make a note on my little list that, I have 2 in box number 1 and 4 in box number 2 or whatever. But otherwise, I'm trying to kind of keep everything together just to make it easier for myself when I'm doing this packing list thing. I don't know if Amazon's going to keep on doing this, but they haven't made any announcement that they're going to discontinue it, and they did just start it, so this is what we're going to have to do for now. Anyway, hope that helps you, and I hope you sell lots of stuff on Amazon and wherever else you sell items. Okay, guys, thanks for watching, and happy selling, everyone!